What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today's video, you can tell by the title, is I'm gonna read some of your guys' comments. I like to do one of these videos like maybe once a year or so, and I don't do them all the time just because I feel like they come off kind of negative sometimes, but I want you guys to know that these videos are never to come off negative. I like to read your guys' comments on camera because some of you guys are going through the same things and I get multiple questions about stuff. So sometimes you guys comment situations or questions you have, and you never know, somebody else watching these videos might have the same issue going on. So I like to, kind of explain on camera. And some things, rude comments and stuff, some of them I like to call out because, just depends. Just depends. I'm not trying to, rip anybody a new one or anything. I just want to answer some of your guys' questions pertaining to the videos. Okay, so Claire Corey commented a week ago that she wants to continue riding. I'll just read you the actual comment. Hi, so I want to continue riding, but I don't know if I will have time once I get into college and stuff. This is the first video I've seen from you, but I can tell... Wait, can you tell me how you make time to continue riding? So that's a really good question. I think a lot of people struggle with that when, they go off to college. There's so many people that sell their horses when they go to college, and it's really sad to me because it is not impossible to keep your horses through college. Even if you don't own the horses or you just take lessons, it is definitely not impossible to do it while you're still in school. It is going to be hard. Just like anything, when you're in college, you have to time manage and you have to cut out things here and there. And even if you have to cut out riding once a week, or if you do it more than once a week, if you have to cut back on it, that's totally fine. Personally, I do a lot of horses on the weekends. My weekend time is really valuable. So when I started my new job to help with my business costs, I told my manager that my weekends are very valuable. I'll work all week long if you want me to, but I do really need my weekend time. And so that was something that really worked out for me. And just so if you have a job and you're trying to juggle school with your job and riding, talk to your manager, your supervisor, or whoever does your scheduling, and you might be able to work something out with them. You never know until you try. As well as, it always bothers me when people think that their horses need to be ridden all the time. There is a difference between you thinking your horse should be ridden all the time and your horse actually needing ridden all the time. That's definitely, I feel like, a false belief that people have, is that horses need riding. Horses will live without being ridden. Horses can be refreshed. My horses, I've trained to be flexible. So yeah, they might sit out in the pasture for 2 weeks, but when I bring them in, I expect them to know how to be ridden. Horses don't forget how to be ridden. If your horse, sits and they're a little fresh when they come back out from sitting, well, you know what? Horses are flexible. They will survive. They will be fine, and it'll be okay. Horses don't, need to be ridden all the time. If your horse has to sit for a little bit, that's okay. Your horse is going to be there when you have free time. Just don't stress it, is what I'm trying to say. Don't stress if your horse is being used to ridden 3 days a week and you can only ride it 1 day a week now. Don't stress about it so much. Your horse will be okay. Your horse will probably enjoy it, and he'll be there when you got time. If you can only do it on the weekends, he'll be there on the weekends. Don't stress about it that much. Okay. Isabel Perro says, please reply to this comment. So yesterday, I saw a chip in my horse's foot about the size of Sugar's. Do you think it would be okay to ride her, but only trotting and jogging? I need to know ASAP. I will be trotting the barrel pattern and pole bending, but only trotting. So this is my video of Goodbye Chloe, and Sugar did have a piece chipping off of her hoof that was, I just cut it off because it looked like it had grown out and kind of chipped. So I just cut it, and I see a lot of people that really are dramatic about their horses' feet, and honestly, like I said, I teach my horses to be flexible, and if it's not something that's gonna make her go lame, then I don't stress it that much. Like, and if it can be chopped off with some nippers or something, I don't stress about it that much. Some horses go lame really easily, but it's not a super common thing. So like if your horse doesn't really go lame much, then it's probably okay. If you're like that worried about it, text your farrier and ask them, but I don't stress about a chip in a hoof that much. Like horses' hooves naturally chip off. They deal with it in the pasture. They'll deal with it while we're riding. As long as like, if it's really bad, then obviously I wouldn't be like jumping on it or anything. But like she said, just for like a walk trot type of thing or like a leisurely ride, like it's not going to kill them. It'll be okay. Hold on. Elizabeth Taylor asks, can you use a hackamore if you ride English? I don't own any horses, but I'm looking to buy in the future, and I'd rather not use bits, but would like to ride English or possibly jump. And I responded that, of course, you can use hackamores or ride bitless if you ride English. There's no rules that says English riders can't ride bitless, but I told her when I responded that it's going to depend if you want to show or not. In the show world, I've talked about this in my vlogs, it highly depends on how your shows are run. Because basically around here, I've said this in my videos 100 times, around in my area we run by the AQHA show rules, and in the AQHA handbook it says that any horse over 5 years old has to be ridden with a shank bit. So that's why I don't show my horses unless it's a fun show or games. So I'm sure English probably has the same thing somewhere in there, because you really don't see anybody riding bitless in the show ring. But if you don't want to ride, if you don't want to show, then there's no reason you can't ride bitless English. They do make English hackamores like more designed for English riding and for jumping and stuff like that. You just have to look into what your horse is going to work well with and all that type of stuff. But of course, you can ride bitless if you ride English. I highly recommend it. Alright. Sasha Mitt comments, I'm around 180 to 185 pounds and I'm 12 years old. What type of horse would fit me? I'm just a little curious because I'm new with horses and I love them so much. And my mom said I might train a horse with horse riding, so I'm just a little curious about what breed. So I get this comment a lot on my You're Too Fat to Ride video. And I also get a lot of comments on there asking if people are too big for their horses, which I cannot answer. But for this girl, I thought I replied to that, but it doesn't look like I did. There are a lot of horse breeds, you guys, that are designed to carry workloads. Like draft breeds, for this girl, like she said she's 12 years old, 180, 185, that's not a lot of weight for an average size horse. So like my horse Soccer, that's not a lot of weight for him. He's carried my dad and my boyfriend up to like 240 pounds is probably what I'd put on him. So, I mean, if you just get yourself a nice sized horse that's muscular that you can grow into if you're going to keep growing, that will suit you for a long time. Otherwise, there's always, if you really want a horse that's really big and mighty, I mean, there's draft crosses out there. There's also smaller breeds of horses that are bred to carry large amounts of weight, such as like the Gypsy Vanner horse. Gypsy Vanners, I believe, from my understanding, were bred to be a draft horse in a small body. I mean, they can actually carry a lot. I know somebody that does have a Gypsy Vanner, and they are strong little horses. I mean, they really are, as well as horses like the Halflinger. The Halflinger, I believe, is like a Belgian in a small horse's body. I mean, that's how they're designed. They're designed to pull carts, all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, just find a horse that works for you, that's good for your weight limit and for your size, and just find a horse that's good carrying you, and yeah, work with it. Run with it. Alright, Elizabeth Coleman commented, you may already have a video on this, but what do you suggest for working with super spoiled horses? I have a 7-year-old mare who I feel like I built a good relationship with, but she doesn't respect me. She's bucked me off, and then I decided would treat her as if she needs restarted completely. I've worked on yielding, respecting space, ground manners. I've only worked with super broke horses in the past, so I'm just kind of at a loss with her. I want to build the best relationship possible. I don't have money for a trainer. Not only that, the trainers in my area are not natural horsemanship trainers. She's pretty afraid of whips and hates bits, as do I. So I'm trying to be gentle with her without getting away with bad habits. It's a fine line. Thank you in advance and sorry for a long comment. Okay. I'll read you what I replied to her. She's at an age where she probably has been set in her ways for a while, which is true. I mean, if a horse is used to getting away with things and doing whatever they want, that's how they're going to act with people, especially if they haven't been handled a lot. Keep doing what you're doing is what I told her. 2 months, she said she's only been working with her a couple months, which isn't a long time for a restart. I mean, horses have to completely relearn and learn all these new manners on how to act around humans. So 2 months isn't a very long time for them to get that down. So keep working at it. It'll take her time to learn your ways and let go of those old habits that she's used to. As for the whips, what I always do with horses that are afraid of ropes and whips and stuff is I throw it on their back and pull it off. So not hard, I just let the rope, like a lunge whip has that long rope, so I just throw it over their back and I pull it off, let it hit the ground, I keep throwing it over them, I kind of swing it around their legs, let it touch them all over. And it's usually a relaxing exercise for the horses and they get used to feeling it on their body and not being so afraid of it touching them. That's definitely something I need to do with my project horse. But that's a good exercise for that. What else? With a horse that isn't respecting you, be stern and draw your boundaries. You definitely have to be more strict than you do with broke horses. I'm someone that's not afraid to get physical if I have to. Best of luck. So, with green horses, they're still learning. Like, they don't have everything down yet. They still have to get a lot of experience under their belt. So, I'm very strict with the green horses and the ones that are my projects and that I'm working with. Like, I don't let them get away with shit. Even if they're having a really good day, like, I don't let them get away with little nips or getting too close into my space or ignoring me. Even if they were good that day, they don't ignore me. You're not going to get away with that. So, you do have to be more strict about it. Then with like my 3 broke horses, sometimes if they're being a little bit of a pain or they won't hold still, like, I don't stress about it that much because they know better. And usually it doesn't take a lot to fix it. I just have to give them like a little, hey, stop, like something like that. Whereas, you know, a green horse, if you let them keep getting away with it, then they're going to easily revert back to those bad manners. So, hope that helped. Okay, this comment I did want to address. I get this comment like once in a while, not that often, but I know some of you guys have commented this before. Mountaineer Homestead says, new to owning horses and I have learned a good bit from your videos. I just wish there was a little less foul language. I have an 11-year-old daughter that loves to watch your videos because it's all about horses, but I really don't want her to hear all of that. So I get comments just like really rarely, but once in a while about swearing. And yes, I do swear in my videos. Like if you guys watch my videos once in a while, like I don't do it excessively, but I'll drop the F-bomb or like the S word or whatever, here and there. Just because like that's how I just naturally talk. I mean, all of my friends and everyone I know talk like that and no one in my life is offended by it. Well, except for one person, but that's just how I naturally am, and I don't really believe in like changing or like filtering who you really are in your videos. I feel like people watch my videos because they like my personality and they like what I do with my horses. And oh, voice crack. But I'm not trying to tell anybody how to raise their kids. I'll just tell you from my perspective of why I don't care about swearing. Because growing up, I heard swearing all day long, every day, all the time. Like, my family swore, people at school swore, friends, like, just on TV, in movies, like, swearing is a part of the English language. And, you hear it everywhere. Now, when I was younger, I knew better. I would not be saying those words, especially when my parents are around. but I heard them all over the place. I just knew better not to say them. So, I mean, in the real world, kids are gonna hear swear words everywhere, like on the TV, at school, in public. Like, it's a part of life. It's a part of the English language. I mean, that's all I gotta say about that. I mean, it's kind of a given these days. Tons of people on YouTube swear. I think that's going to be the end of this video. I feel like I've been talking for quite a while, so hopefully you guys aren't bored to death. Let me know if you have any questions down below. And don't forget to check out my Etsy shop. I'm also adding pet-themed mystery boxes to my Etsy shop rather than just horse ones. So if you want a mystery box for your dog or your cat or whatever, feel free to check out my Etsy shop. I'm not sure exactly when they're going to be on there yet, but they will be very soon. So that's always linked down below if you didn't know already. Also, let me know what you guys think for video ideas. Sometimes I lose video ideas and need your guys' help with that. So what is your favorite thing to watch into my videos? Let me know down below. And I hope you guys have a good ride. Bye.